Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about The Scammer by Tiffany D Jackson. And this book is a young adult novel. It's about a young girl who is going off to college for the first time. In this story, she is a black girl who grew up in a historically white area, and she always felt like she was the token black person pretty much anywhere she went. Her parents had this dream for her that she would grow up and go away to Yale, and she was accepted into Yale. But at the last minute, she decides that she's going to go to a historically black university. She's explaining that the reason she made this choice is because she's felt like she needed to belong, and she was hoping to find a sense of belonging in this school as opposed to Yale. So she goes, she meets her roommates, and all the time we are reminded of how she's looking for a sense of belonging. And she finds that. She finds camaraderie with her roommates right away. And then we start having the turn because, you know, the book is called The Scammer. We're going to have a scam. One thing for me that kept popping up while I was reading this is I had trouble believing that people are really this gullible. I kept getting pulled out of it and getting frustrated because I wanted to say, how can you fall for this? How? But that's kind of what happens, isn't it? If you read about something that happens to someone, they lose all their credit cards, or they follow into some kind of cult, or, you know, whatever it is, you read about it as an outsider, you're like, how could you be that way? And I felt like that a lot in this book, and I kept thinking, no, people are not that dumb. But it's not even a matter of being dumb, right? It's a matter of people who are looking for something in their lives are the targets for these kinds of people, right? So in this situation, we have a young girl who has felt like an outsider. Her roommates, maybe they feel the same way too. It's kind of a critical period in youth when you're growing up and you go off to college for the first time. You're trying to decide who you are. It's kind of when people can get brought into things, right? So in this story, what happens is we meet the scammer in the form of a roommate's brother. And we've already mentioned that this girl is looking for belonging. She's found it with her roommates. So when the scammer is somebody that you should trust because you're trusting your roommate that you've made friends with, and you found a sense of, in this case, sisterhood with these people that you're now living with, we introduce the scammer, and he's coming in through this way. So through this book, I really enjoyed. I had the curiosity throughout, like, what's going to happen next. And that, because it was so quick-paced, I read it really quickly. I wanted to know what was going to happen next. I was very curious about it. I really liked the modern social commentary because you can see elements of what's going on in today's world in this book. I liked the language. I liked just the references to popular culture that were in it. And, you know, and I liked the characters. I liked our main girl. Her name is Jordan. And I liked the characters that she interacted with too. Although so if she is sort of the token black girl in her high school and in the places that she's going throughout her lives, she meets a character named Nick, who is the token white boy because he's the one white kid at this historically black university, and sort of through their opposites, it's exactly the same. So it's almost a little bit too perfect, but okay, I can suspend disbelief on that and go with this character. I did like him as a character, but like I said, the thing to me was just getting so frustrated and wanting to shake these people and say, how can you fall for it? And really questioning whether or not it's realistic. In the end, I don't know if it's realistic that people are this gullible, but I guess so. Actually, even yesterday at my job, I met a woman. She came into the veterinary hospital seeking treatment for her pet, but she had no money because her credit cards had all been stolen. She, of course, was elderly. This is, a vulnerable population. And, You know, it just reminds me that people do fall for these things all the time. So I shouldn't be so quick to judge whether or not it's realistic. Because apparently it does happen. You hear about these things all the time. It did have a surprise ending. Anyway, I think it's an interesting book and I do recommend it. And I am curious to know from you, when you read it, what do you think? Did you believe that people would fall for these kinds of scams, or did you think it was too extreme? And also, have you ever read a book that you just felt like so much like, why? When you're talking about the characters in the book? Let me know in the comments your thoughts upon reading this book, and basically if you have another book that you felt the same sort of frustration with. Overall, I liked the book and I would recommend it, but yeah, I got frustrated in it with the characters and what they fell for. All right, anyway, thank you for watching today, and let me know what you're reading. Thanks.